I never intended to have some kind of a mystery about us. It's just that I didn't have anything to say in the beginning. And now that it's gone on long enough and there's actually a story in a way. I mean, still, I think every night that you leave, I think, God, my life's so fucking boring compared to so many people that I know. We don't deserve to have a book written about us. I know that I have to talk about details of my life. You know, I enjoy talking to you, but I don't think I'm going to be any more open with my personal life in any other interview in the future, because people don't fucking deserve to know, really. I mean, it's none of their goddamn business what my personal life is like now. Fuck them. They don't need to know everything about me.
I don't want to die, just want to ride on my motorcycle.
I always wanted to think that I was an alien. I used to think when I was young that I was adopted by my mother because they found me and a spaceship let me off. I was from a different planet. I wanted to be from a different planet really bad. And every night I used to talk to my real parents and my real family in the skies. I knew that there were thousands of other alien babies dropped off. They're all over the place, and I've met quite a few of them. It's just something that I've always liked to toy with in my mind. It was really fun to pretend that, you know. There's some special reason for me to be here, and I feel really homesick all the time, and so do the other aliens. And I only have a chance to come across like a handful of other aliens throughout the rest of my life. Eventually, one day, we'll find out what we're supposed to do.
And I don't want to die.
Up until I was about 8 years old, I had an extremely happy childhood, a really good one with a totally affectionate mother, and she was totally supportive in helping me do art. I was always drawing and reading, and she was really into supporting me, and I had a great time, a really good childhood during that time. I had everything in focus. I knew exactly what I was going to do, and nothing could stop me. And I knew that I could do whatever I wanted because the world was really small, and things just happened to lay down before me with luck, and I didn't have any problem. There were no obstacles in my life at that time. I was never really a bad kid, but I did things like, you know, I would take a 7-Up can and fill it full of rocks and stand behind the fence and throw it at cars. I had this thing about cops too. I had this saying called corn on the cops, corn on the cops are coming, they're gonna kill you. I used to take those cans and throw them at cop cars whenever I saw them, and every time I saw a cop I'd start singing that at them and pointing at them and tell them that they were evil. And my Aunt Mary, I guess you would call her an aspiring musician. She was in a lot of bar bands in Aberdeen, and she's definitely the most helpful person in my life as far as music, because she gave me an electric Hawaiian guitar and an amplifier when I was like 8 years old, and she was the one responsible for giving me the Beatles records. And she gave me a bass drum, and I'd strap that on and walk around with the Elmer Fudd hat on and my dad's tennis shoes and beat on the drum and walk around the neighborhood singing Beatles songs. When I was a lot younger, I thought for sure I could be a rock star. There was no problem because I was so hyperactive and the world was in my hands. I could do anything. You know, I knew that I could be the president if I wanted to, but that was a stupid idea. You know, I'd rather be a rock star. I didn't understand my environment, what was lying ahead, what kind of alienation I would feel when I was a teenager, because I thought of Aberdeen as like any other city in America. I thought they were all the same, you know, everyone just got along and there wasn't nearly as much violence as there actually was, and it would be really easy. And I thought the United States was about as big as my backyard, you know, so it would be no problem to drive all over the place and play in a rock band and be on the cover of magazines and stuff. So I had the conditioning at an early stage, but then when I started, becoming this manic depressive at 9 years old, I didn't look at it that way.
I've always felt like my generation was the very last innocent generation, when there was television that wasn't violent. We didn't have cable. We had Sesame Street and Speed Racer and H.R. Puff and stuff, and that's it. Everything was a total fantasy. Everything was just very basic and just medieval compared to things nowadays. Kids are so advanced and expected to be so much more advanced than they are.